that?
That's the thing that when the PX truck came through, was a big semi cargo truck, you know,
Yeah.
or they rented a place in the back room of some building or something, and that was called the PX, and you could get cigarettes and chewing gum and cigars and stuff.
Oh.
So you had a sidecar.
What did you get on that one?
2nd of July in 1945, I got
Oh my.
all this stuff here, but some of it wasn't right. This is only for the ration stuff.
Oh yeah.
As you can see, there's this cigarettes or cigars, and then it's got various little things. Then they had a few more in the bottom here. And for certain weeks, you could get certain things, see? But, see, that week you could get it, and then you couldn't get it, you know? So I don't know how it was. But what we used to do was, you see there's one thing in red here,
Yeah.
and then the X's in blue. We used to go to two. We'd go to one and get the ration.
Yeah.
Then we'd turn around and go to the one over in the next town.
Good thinking.
I can't. Can you read what that word is there?
Juice.
Juice?
Yeah, I think that's what it says.
Oh, can of juice, maybe. Yeah. Huh. Here's juice over here.
Yep, juice.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a
Cigarettes,
a
candy
ration
bars.
card. See?
Oh wow. And that was when you were in Europe?
That's when. Yeah, I was in England and France and Germany.
Wow.
Now, I should tell you beforehand, all this stuff is photographs.
Yeah.
Photographs were taken by somebody like me who carried a camera around, not all the time, because cameras were big, you know. And I had an Argoflex at that time, which is a reflex camera.
Yeah.
And it's about that high and 3 or 4 inches square. And took good pictures, 2 1/4, maybe by 2 1/4 by 2 1/4.
Oh wow.
But big, you know. You're not going to carry it every day.
How big was it?
So it was this high.
Wow.
So that hanging around your neck, you knew it, you know.
Yeah.
So what you did was you took pictures on, like on a Sunday, maybe when you're going to town to go to mass or something, or the USO was coming through or something like that. You had something big to see, you know, some historical monument or something. Who knows? So
Special occasions.
Then what happens if you had a whole bunch of pictures that you didn't know, didn't want, had plenty of yourself? You would throw them on the kitchen table at night, and the guys would pick them up, you know, and they'd send them home, you know. And so some of these are my own shots, some of these aren't. And so what I did was, when I had something to send home, I'd throw in whatever pictures I had floating around. And we had the pictures, because they came in a roll from the movie house, you know, 35 millimeter. And we used to load our own cartridges. Just pull it out and shove it in, you know.
Wow.
So this is what different shots that happen to be past my mother's censorship. That's my sister and my brother. Look at that, will you? There looks to be a lot of snow here. And this is me going. My mother wrote little doodads on the side here. This is home. Home for the weekend, February 1943.
Is that Pepperell?
Pepperell, yeah. And this is leaving for the service. Look at the gaunt look on the guy. Gosh. Leaving for the service. Poor guy. He's
She
gone.
wrote proud.
He's gone. He's proud, yeah. And this is Westfield State Teachers College, where I went to school for 6 months in the Enlisted Reserve Corps, okay? And this is my brother's. I guess that's Jack Carriger and Audrey and me and Bruce. Look at Bruce, isn't he a skinny kid? Yeah.
Yeah, let me get a shot of that.
These are little momentums. Oh, look at I got a thing for my sleeve. That's when I went to school at Fort Monmouth. That's a description of how you run through the combat. What do you call it? I don't know. Look at here, five steps. All right. Look at the old car.
Wow. So what are these? Are like different certificates that said that you were a radio technician?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you choose that, as opposed to other things you could do?
Well, you didn't really have much choice.
Oh,
The choice was there, but it was made by somebody else.
I see.
And what they did, the first thing they'd take you in the back room and you got a IQ. And I remember having an IQ of 151 or something like that, and I had fallen asleep. So it's a good thing I didn't stay in there any longer. I might have blown the fuse on the thing. So anyway, then they decide what you know. If they need cooks, they're going to get cooks.
Yeah.
You know. And if you get a PhD and they need a cook, well, they're going to get a cook, you know.
Wow.
So here I am and my sister. She's in the same thing that Audrey, that my wife went in. The Cadet Nurses Corps. There's my sister.
Oh,
That's when we first went in. Look at how skinny I was. There I am sitting on the front porch of my mother's place. This is Bruce and Audrey and me and the dog
Where is that in Pepperell?
in Pepperell. See, Bruce is the tallest of all of us. Tremendous.
What's that there?
This came out of here. That held that up.
Yeah, this looks like it needs to be
we
some
can rebind
repair.
I
These.
think
Well, the
this,
pictures are in good shape.
Yeah,
This
they
is-
sure are.
Binding is.
this had seen better days. You
Yeah.
know?
We all have.
That's from the Stars and Stripes, I suppose. Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Oh, here's the 192nd Signal Repair Company.
Oh yeah.
That's the outfit I was in.
What's it saying?
What it says is, the week's event was quiet. That's a small print. Nothing much was done. Many were the men who came down here. The work has just begun. I don't know that word.
So Joe, is it right? I always say that you were in the Army Signal Service Corps. Is that right? Is that the right way to say it?
No.
Okay, good. Well, now's the time we can correct that.
I guess, well, the name of the thing was the 192nd Signal Repair Company, right, just like that there.
Uh-huh.
And that had 150 men in it, which is 10 little teams of telephone people, 5, you know, one was telephone, either 5 telephones or 5 radios.
Uh-huh.
So either you belonged to a telephone group and you worked the telephone stuff, or you worked radio and radar stuff. So I happened to be in, as Alex said, I chose it, but I didn't choose it. They chose, you know.
Right.
They said, oh, come here, I need 3 more guys, you know.
So what was your main duty for them? Was it telephone then, or radio?
No, I was in radio, radar,
Okay.
and that determined what school you went to.
Oh, okay.
And see, I went to Fort Monmouth for 6 months, and that was a U.S. Signal Corps school at Fort Monmouth, up in New Jersey. But it wasn't part of a corps or anything, because that would be how it's set up. But this is a small, an outfit you could use to do anything with. You could pull, like when the bulge came along, I remember there was about 10 of us, and they just took us out. Okay, you boys, you're going to take off. So you could do that, whereas if it was a service company or something like that, you'd probably have to take the whole company, you know. We were a bunch of little unknowns, kind of.
Well, we wanted to ask you about the Battle of the Bulge and your experience. What do you remember most about your experiences with the Battle of the Bulge?
Nothing. Nothing. All I remember is that the snow was up over your knees, and we were putting radios in tanks and selling
What country were you in? You know?
Belgium.
You're in Belgium?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
your main duties then in the Bulge were to put the radios in the tanks?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were. Our job was to keep the communications running, and if you needed a radio, we give you a radio, and we had a whole truck full of them, brand new. If your radio was pretty good and it worked but not quite good enough, we could put a couple of men on it, and they'd do something for you. If your antenna got broken off, and of course the tanks were made out of steel that was that thick, you know, they'd burn a new hole in there and mount a new antenna in the tank.
Wow.
So somebody would get that present radio fixed up so they could go, you know.
Wow.
So we kept the line of communications running,
Wow.
really what we did.
Was there anything to stop the enemy from intercepting your radio signals?
No,
So they
No.
could have just listened in.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And could you listen in on them too?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And did you do that?
I don't know, we didn't have time.
Do you remember how long were you in that engagement? Do you remember? How many? Do you remember? Was it a period of?
Oh, they told us to get ready, we were going up, and we were having kind of a peaceful life, you know. We were 150 miles below there.
Oh yeah.
And so I guess maybe 10 of us went, couple trucks, and you'll see a picture of the trucks later on down there. We had one truck that was a complete shop all of its own.
Wow.
And we had grinders in there, lathes and everything else, and all kinds of spare parts.
Well, what was going through your mind as you headed up to the battle? Do you remember? Do you remember?
Nothing. Just another day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we got someplace and they said, okay, hey, sit over here. So they gave us a place in there and smoothed the snow back. And we put stuff out there and put a tent flap up. And back the trucks in. All I was remember, boy, I was tired. We didn't get any sleep for a couple of days.
Wow.
And then
That's pressure.
I remember waking up, we were in some convent, and I rolled over in I was sleeping on some kind of a cot, and Martin J. McKean was sleeping over here, but he was out of bed and he had one of these little Primus stoves, gasoline type stove, and he had one of these little stoves on the floor, and he had his helmet cooking water. I said, Mac, what are you doing? He says, coffee. So he was making coffee for us, and we had slept around the clock, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Oh, gosh.
then pretty soon they told us we could go back to our own outfit, and we just hit the road. And so.
Wow.
Was there, when you were fixing all these things, did you hear the battle? Was the battle all around you? Or was it far away?
I don't think there wasn't much of a battle.
Not
Yeah.
right there.
No.
Yeah. But the tanks, after you fixed them, they would go straight.
They would,
into the
yeah,
battle.
yeah.
Wow.
And I met a guy that was the mentor at the freshman college and when I went to college. He was the dormitory that I stayed in on the 4th floor was my room assignment. And the mentor on that floor was in ROTC. And
Oh.
so, lo and behold, if I didn't meet him at the Battle of the Bulge.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
What was he doing at the battle?
He was the commander of a platoon or something.
Wow.
Something to do with, he belonged there.
Mm-hmm. So your job was to get those radios working for the tanks, and then they would set out.
Get them going. Yeah,
Yeah.
get them going.
And there would be somebody else who'd be in radio contact with you. That wasn't your job. You were just keeping the radios
Yeah,
working
no,
and
no, the
set
guys,
them out.
their own men would be doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. We also want to ask you about the Nuremberg trials because we heard that you were involved. Could you tell us a little bit about your involvement?
We went in and looked the place over and went back and ordered the wire. We got the wire in and speakers and stuff. And then we ran wire from there to here, from there to here, from there to here. And then we put plates in it. It had 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it had U.S., span, Chinese, Japanese, French. So there was about 6 or 8 on a switch.
Oh, the different languages.
You could get whichever translator had the earphones on. You know?
Wow, that's complicated.
Yeah.
How did your unit get
But-
chosen for that?
Well, we were in the town in Nuremberg, and again, we had an awful lot of communications experience
Yeah.
and a lot of real hands-on. You know, we worked with it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day.
So did you stay and ensure that the lines are all working, or once
Oh,
you
we
just,
just-
were you just involved in the setup? And then,
We just checked them out, and that was it. They took over everything.
okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't stay for the trial. Did you witness any of the trial or anything, or you
No.
went on to the next job?
No, back to work.
Wow.
Cool. Should we s-
And
keep
yeah.
go through the scrapbook? French francs.
French French,
Oh, that's probably worth something.
it's small, huh?
Yeah.
That's what French French was. 5 of them. I guess it's francs. Yeah. 5 francs.
Oh, Joe, I wanted to ask you while you're looking at the scrapbook. When you were a boy, isn't it true, or when you were a young man, weren't you were always interested in mechanical things like watches and radios? That didn't just happen after you joined the army. Where you were interested in mechanical things, weren't you, when you were growing up? How things worked and everything. Can you tell us a little about? Because I understood that you used to like to take things apart and put them back, see how they work. Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of thing? When you were growing up, what kind of things did you like to?
Well, see, living on a farm, something breaks, you can't get it fixed. You'd be down at the welding shop every afternoon,
Right.
So my father was what I'd call a tremendous, know a little about everything person. Like a jack of all trades, Hi there, folks.
Hello.
How's the folks?
Good. I don't want to interrupt
Hi, sweetheart.
your progress.
We're going down memory lane.
Welcome home.
Grandpa's talking about the farm. So your father was kind of a Mr. Fix-It?
My father, he could do anything, and if he couldn't do it, he still did it. And sometimes that didn't work out so good. But if something needed fixing, you fixed it. That's all. And
Did you fool around with radios? Did you?
well, and then I had the amateur license.
Mhm.
I was a ham radio, and I got
As a kid, as a teenager?
in high school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was very interested in electronics. And I used to take stuff. Yeah, I had a watch. I used to take this watch apart and put the little cogs back in again and put it back together.
Get it working again?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That's a good job by it. It calms you down.
You got to have steady hands. Do you
Calms
think
you.
that kind of experience helped you when you were in the war? Do you think that?
Oh,
that
I
background?
don't know. The war, that was just a transient occupation. It was there while it was there.
But that experience and like fooling around with the radio and taking apart a watch, do you think that sort of helped you when you're in? Because it's problem solving, isn't it? When you're setting up the radio for the tanks, or when you're doing the sound system for like.
No, I think that's either you got it or you haven't.
Right, it's a job.
Yeah.
But you had the confidence to get the job done.
I guess you had confidence and
You know.
patience.
Hey, if you took apart a watch, you can
It,
put it back
it
together.
took a little work to get it back together,
Yeah.
and patience and logic, and so it'd be quite an explanation of different words.
Can we talk about this later?
But you could have, as I was telling Alex, if they needed cooks, you could have wound up in the cook line.
Thank heavens you didn't.
It's hard to say what you were going to end up. It was really the need that they had.
Yeah. Right.
They
Did
need
you-
a guy
did
to
you-
drive a truck all day?
Yeah.
Hey, come here.
Yeah. Did you, was your duty with the 192nd, was it the 192nd? Was your duty mostly then with radios, you didn't like fix any other things, or, you know?
Oh, we did anything.
So would you keep Jeeps running too, whatever the job was?
Oh, yeah. We had, the French crank, you could take a hacksaw and cut the profile out of the head. And one of our chief hobby things was fixing it for a guy come in with a cigarette lighter, and we'd solder that on for him. The head of off a Frank. And it just made the cigarette lighter a little more personal
Oh, nice.
and a little curious.
Oh,
Well, we did. Well, I remember once we fixed a General's washing machine. Whatever, we had the tools,
right.
see, and we had the 10 guys in my little team. There was an awful lot of intelligence there, an awful lot of experience there. When we moved, it took all 10 of us to move. We were supposed to have one big truck with a shop, one cargo truck, and one Jeep. And we had 4 or 5 Jeeps, and we had a couple of motorcycles, and we had, we just had too much. We weren't authorized to any of that stuff. You know? But we had it.
Wow.
Now, we might have had to fancy up a radio that used to work on a tech, and we had to change the frequency to get the French radio for some poor little outfit that had an extra Jeep, and we'd swap the Jeep for a radio, you know. That's how we did it.
So did the 10 of you guys, did you guys stick together through a good part of the war then, or was it a shifting group of?
No, we stuck together pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you keep in touch afterward? A little bit?
We met once or twice in Boston, but not really.
You moved on.
I'm sorry now that we didn't, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember, were you guys all together then when you heard about VE Day? Do you remember that when the Germany surrendered?
I don't really remember. We probably went up and got drunk, that's all.
You had every right to.
Mm.
Oh, gosh.
BJ Day, that's the day we were in Paris. I remember getting drunk that day. And,
Because then you knew it was over. Because
yeah.
some of the guys in Europe, they were going to have to ship out to
oh, they shipped them across,
Asia,
yeah.
yeah.
And I saw P-47 going to the Eiffel Tower. And people won't even believe it today. But this guy, he had enough, I was going to say guts, but it was more than guts.
What did he do? What did he do at the Eiffel Tower?
He went under the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, in a plane?
With the plane, he just,
You saw that?
and up, and I saw it.
Was he a Yank?
Crazy.
Oh, was it VJ Day? Was he celebrating?
No, yeah, he was celebrating all right.
Oh my gosh.
He could have had a catastrophe.
Yeah, but it was
You know.
it was on
But,
VJ. Was it VJ
It
Day?
was VJ Day, yeah.
Holy cow!
So,
Well, that's a sight to behold.
well, that was something, gosh.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Finally over. Do you remember when you finally came home to Pepperell? Was it? I know you. Well, we'd have to talk to you. I know you got to go to Scotland for a little trip before.
Went to
but-
Scotland for 30 days.
Wow. Was that when you had? Did you still have the little dog, or did you?
Yeah,
That's
little
right,
dog
that's
on the
right,
way
yeah.
back. Yeah,
What was the dog's name?
lady.
Lady.
That was her paper. She was a certified
What breed?
pedigreed
What kind?
wire-haired terrier.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
So was that
Cute-
your dog or
cute
your
little dog.
your cruise dog, or was that your
no,
little
just
mascot?
something. I bought it in Scotland.
Oh, okay.
Put it in my pocket. She was only about this long.
Okay, and you brought her back to
And I
Pepper?
brought her back to, no, I lost her in Germany.
Oh,
I went to work one day, and when I came back, somebody said, your dog's gone.
oh.
So,
But your dog was your little companion in your adventure
well,
in
not,
Scotland?
not that much. See, I should have kept better.
Yeah,
There were no dogs.
yeah.
So if you had a dog, and if one of the Polish guys could get him out of the gate, they could sell it good money for a dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Wow.
Too bad, but
I'm curious what it was like when you finally came home after the war. You know, when you
not
came to
much. I think
there wasn't a parade or
the
anything. at
biggest
Pepper, or-
biggest thing that I could tell you is I got on the train down in Trenton, someplace in New Jersey, before we got in from Fort Dix, and I had a sheet of paper with orders on it. I don't know.
Might be in there somewhere.
Might be in here. And
Did it say you were discharged?
said I was discharged, and I was in command of these 21 men that are going to Fort Devens, Mass. Under number such and such, and order number dated so and so. This allowed me and all these other guys to go to see Paddock Station. So I got on the train, and all these other guys got on. We all got up and threw our bags in the seat, you know. I went over to the conductor and I said, "Hey, we made it, see?" And I had a ruptured duck thing here, meaning we were discharged. And gave him the sheet, and he says, "I don't need that," he says. He says, 20 years ago, I was in the same thing.
Oh, wow.
So it meant nothing to him,
Oh, jeez.
and he was a vet.
You think he was in World War I, or you think?
Yeah, he was in World War One.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
That's a nice
it
welcome home.
meant nothing to him.
Oh, brother.
And when we got to,
Well, what about your mother and father when you got back to the farm? What
oh,
was
I
it
got
like?
a big hug and kiss, you know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Must have been good to be
But-
home.
Yeah, and I don't think much changed, you know. It's we all got a little older. You can see that because after you're gone a couple of years. Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah, that was wow.
1946.
And you put your dog tags away, and then they were. Your mom put them away, and then
Yeah,
they turned up again.
they turned up some.
years later. In a little box.
Yeah.
What was your rank when you were discharged? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was a tech sergeant. Then I made master sergeant right after that. You couldn't have any more rank than the Manning document called for.
Okay.
The 192nd Signal Repair Company didn't have any master sergeants.
Oh, okay.
But every one of these team chiefs was a tech sergeant. So he was the boss of
Okay.
that thing.
And you were the boss of 10 guys or 9 guys? Was it
10, I guess.
10? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And then was later on you got back in the reserves, right? Was it
Yeah, when I got out of the service, you go through these, throw your jackets over there, throw your pants over there, throw all these things, and they give you new ones, and then you signed out, and where I had been at radar school and a couple of electronic schools, they told me that my critical specification number was critical. And as far as they were concerned, they'd call me up tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
And these are guys from the service.
Yeah.
Tell me this. He said, well, tell you the truth. If we want you, we'll just get you.
Really?
And so the thing is, you could sign your name and you'd be in the reserves.
Yeah.
So I signed my name.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went in the reserves. I used to go one weekend a month.
Mm-hmm.
And plenty of times we got $100 out of that too. Came in pretty handy.
Sure, for your family.
Yeah.
Was that and you were in the Air Force Reserves, right? Or were you in the Army?
Yeah, I was in the Air Force.
Air Force Reserves, right. Did you still get to do mechanical things? Did they put you to work with your specialty, or?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I worked with the communication shop,
Oh, that's good.
which is the same thing.
Yeah.
We did the fix the radios or the radars, depending on. Then if it was a broken bracket, we fixed it. Or if it needed soldering, we soldered. If it needed pulling out and put in a new one, we did it, you know.
Yeah.
This other guy and I, we went to school for a whole week. Maybe it was 2 weeks. Off in some other building. And we learned all the different poison gases.
Wow.
Whoa.
And they ever tell you the story about the mustard gas?
No.
Mustard gas is awful.
Oh yeah, that was the
And
terrible weapon in World War I, right?
yeah, World War I it really wiped out thousands.
Those poor guys in the trenches and the.
They just came through there.
What is it?
It's a gas that, on contact with the skin, it causes an eruption. And it's just increasing, I don't know what you call it.
What's its chemical compound? Do you know what's?
No, it
the
just
main
ate,
elements in it?
ate the skin and
Yeah.
made for a mess,
Why did they call it mustard? Does it really have like some of the same things that mustard
I
has?
suppose. Yeah,
Yeah. But
but the easiest one we had would look just like a Coke can, and they call it HC, harmless cloud. And you flip the Coke can and set it there, and the cloud covers the whole room, and of course out through too. And that was good. We could use that. We used that in all the training. But then on the last day, we had to go into chlorine, and that required putting on your gas mask and taking a couple of breaths and clear it out and make sure you were relying on the mask, trying to teach you, you know. And that's the day they put a little mustard gas on my arm, right here, and I still got it.
ouch.
Feel right there, you
Oh, yeah.
can feel it?
Wow.
There's an internal
something.
scab.
Yeah. That's,
I always have the scab there.
Wow.
And so I came back to the barracks, and there's about 4 of us who were pretty friendly. And Phil, he was a nice guy and all that, but he was crazy as a loon, you know. He thought I ought to break that. What's the sense of having a thing like that? Let's break it. And I said, no, we won't. He said, we will. So we began wrestling, and first thing you know, we're under the bed. And the other 2 Pakenham twins, they were in the room. And I think McKean was too. So he couldn't get me down enough so that he could get the arm.
Oh, that's terrible. That's.
But he finally got me over under the bed, and I remember him going like
Oh, that's.
that, and it broke,
Oh no. Ow.
and it cut all over my back from being on the floor.
Oh.
So I had to go on sick call the next morning, and they painted me with something all over my back. And
Oh, jeez.
I had a hard time explaining how it happened.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know, I must have done a lot of tossing and turning during the night.
Brennan.
But,
Jeez.
and so I still got it, so that's powerful stuff.
Yeah. Gosh.
And what it did, World War I guess it got into the trenches, and this gas would, the place would be impermeated, you know, and it'd get in your lungs, and I guess there was no chance of any survival or correction or anything like that. Healing, no. It caused like corrosion, you know, corrosion of the skin.
Did they use that in World War II at all, or were the conventions?
Yeah, in World War II,
They did
I don't
use it
think.
some?
I
No,
don't think they
so.
did.
Yeah, because after World War One, didn't they?
I think they had
Treaty of
a
Versailles or whatever. Didn't
yeah.
They sort of have a
yeah.
wartime
Some
conventions.
kind of a
where they
rule,
used
yeah.
that kinda- yeah,
No, I don't think they used it.
Wow.
The Mideast are using it a little now.
Oh yeah, there's questions.
Other than
about
that, I think it's awful. You know, a gas. You can fill this place with gas, and it's
It's
awful.
it's
You know.
Yeah, it can be like an invisible
Yeah.
killer.
So you took this class to certify that you could know about all the different chemicals and gases and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we were in control of.
Was that on the was that here in the U.S. or you went? You
Yeah, that
took
was in Texas.
Oh.
School director, look at that. Colonel, commander. Yeah, Third Army, see. Headquarters of the Special Troops. Yeah, that was in Camp Swift, down in Texas. Now this is just a bunch of guys from my outfit, and I don't know why would I even have it at a company party.
Wow.
Oh, we got some Texas work here. Season's greetings. Gee, I could write a pretty good. Now you can't read my writing right now.
Oh yeah.
I just can't read it myself. And look at that. At one
That's
time,
so nice.
I could write.
They didn't have zip codes back then.
No, I guess not, no. No. This is Mexico. Mexico! There's about 5 of us got a 5-day pass down in Mexico. We went to Monterrey, I think. There's a gang. Here's something about the 192nd. There's that little group right there. We were just, nobody knew where we were for 30 days. Every morning you have to have a roll call in all the service forces around the whole world to see how many people you got working today and how many died last night and, you know, what the fighting force is. And we weren't on anybody's morning report for 30 days. And boy, somebody heard from that, you know.
You were missing, or you just weren't on the list.
Just weren't on the list. Yep,
What's that? Is that your dog?
that's the dog. Look at it. He's got a stripe. This is Texas fire. No thanks. This is what? State Architecture of Texas. Oh, that's nice. Look at this. That's like on a Sunday afternoon we take a walk. And so take a couple of pictures and send a couple home, you know?
So the camera was that big, but it only took pictures this big?
Yeah,
They're so small.
yeah. It took 120 film.
Wow.
Now it's a complete width of the film.
So that's the trucks there? That's the same trucks you had overseas?
There's the truck, old Bessie. There they are lined up.
And
There's
that,
the old Betsy with a slightly camouflage.
that had all the equipment in it to fix all the radios and things?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, here's a set of dog tags right here.
What are those?
Whatever you want me to. I meant on it earlier, so I didn't know what time.
Yeah, Joe McLeod.
All right, all right.
Pepperell, Mass. Can you imagine? Can you imagine such a thing? There's the number I use for the to get on the laptop, 7449.
Oh, wow.
That's all old brass, man. Gosh. Oh. Oh. How was your day, love?
Good.
Brooks General Hospital. Oh, that's when I went and got my arm broke.
How'd you break your arm?
Oh, I was sailing through the air. There's the truck right there, see? There's the 4th Division. Isn't that pretty?
Let me get that. Hold on.
It's Brooks General Hospital. When you're fighting, you got 100. You got the telephone wire. W110B,
Yeah.
and it has so many strands of copper in it, and so many strands of steel. So it's pretty powerful wire.
Yeah.
So a truck can run over it.
Oh.
But if you ran a truck over it 365 times, you know, all the time, that information, it would ruin the thing. So
Yeah.
what they did is they used to come along, and they'd bring the wire along the side of the road, and they come to this place here, and they tie it to a tree,
Okay.
and then they go up the tree, tie it up there on the top, go across, tie it over there,
Yeah.
and make a tunnel. You know, make a U out of it. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then you could go through there with the truck and not hurt the wire. And then the next day you might need the wire again to go further up. So you pick up the wire,
Gotta climb the tree.
climb the tree and pull the knot out of it. So what they do is on the back of a truck, just a regular cargo truck, they got like a gasoline engine that you have on a lawnmower, just a small gasoline engine. And you got a little clutch on it, and you put this drum on there, and hook the wire on, and send it up there, and pretty soon you got a nice half a mile. Put it aside for tomorrow. So when I was up, I went up and undid the tree, and the guy that pulled the clutch in, he pulled it in before I thought he would.
And you were still up in the tree?
And I was still up in that, and I got caught in the wire, and I came down. the hard way.
Oof.
So that's when they took me to the hospital. Camp Claiborne, here it is. Claiborne, what was that? Mississippi, I guess. Oh, here's when you shakedown before you go overseas.
Yeah.
Every thing is supposed to have a certain amount of tools. Each one of these, I guess each one of these would be a team. This is all the stuff that would be. Look at all the gas cans.
Wow.
That's getting ready to go make the jump in the ocean.
What's that under there? What is that? What's that? It's red.
That's
Get well soon card.
get well card. Sorry to learn of your accident. It's pretty.
Why is that like that? Plastic?
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess these are just sent down because I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. Camp Swift, Texas. There we are sitting on the back porch of the barrack. There's Martin J. McKean right there. There's Joe McLeod. That's Pakenham. No, that's Stinkfeld. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good color.
Wow, yep.
Sunday making at Camp Swift, Texas.
Wow.
Okay. So my mother, she wrote these little things on the side. She put her idea in on those, which is good, you know. Here's some letters. It's a whole bunch of guys outside some monument someplace. Very patriotic bunch. Postcards. Here's a S to United States Mexicanos that passed to go someplace. Wow.
So this was all before you were sent overseas, huh?
This is all in this country, yeah.
Wow.
Probably about a year, I guess. That's just before we went overseas. We had a party up at the officers' club. Some dog. It's like your stray cat.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. This is just pictures. You know, they don't. At that moment, they meant something,
Yeah.
but they don't anymore.
There you are.
There's me. Look at the size of this guy's Dinkfeld. And here's the whole outfit.
Where's you?
Where am
Oh, I see. Is that you?
I? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, then they started sending these.
What are those?
They call them V-mail. What you do, they give you a sheet of paper. The sheet of paper was regular typewriter shape, 8 by 10. You write on there, small, condense, give it to the front office, and they would look it over to make sure there's no military secrets in it. How to build the atomic bomb. And then they'd take a picture of this and ship the picture airmail across the Atlantic, and then reprint it in the American side here, you know.
Oh.
And it was cheaper, supposedly. So, V-mail. And it makes for thinking what you're saying, I believe.
Yeah.
There's someplace in Germany.
After the war?
After the war. Oh, this is after the war. Wow. It's after the war. There was,
So is there a period where you couldn't send letters during the war?
you could send letters, you send them on that,
Oh, okay.
on that V-mail stuff.
Yeah.
There's Martin J. McKean. There's the Eiffel Tower. See, went right under there.
Whoa.
When we got to Germany, we had a place called the Snack Bar. And there was a guy, can't even tell what that is. There was a guy that was a cook.
Mm-hmm.
He was a German PW, and they let him work in the snack bar because he was a pretty good egg and trustworthy. So we began talking about I hope that's the right end. Oh, that's just embossed on there. I don't know what that is, nothing. See, why did I take that day? It meant something to me that day, but you know what?
Yeah. So this is France. So this picks up right when you got to France the first time?
This is France, I think, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, the guy that was the shout-outer cook up there, we used to chew the fat once in a while, you know, waiting for the hamburgers to be cooked and stuff like that. So one day I was saying, hey, you speak pretty good English. And he says, yeah. He says, I was in Massachusetts for a long time. I said, oh, whereabouts in over there were you? So he told me about being in Fort Devens. And I said, oh, that's near Pepperell. That's where I come from. You ever see the sign, Pepperell? He says, yeah. I picked apples in Pepperell many, many times. Oh. So then, further day, same, I don't know. My mother, being a good American macho type woman, decided she'd go help them spread the mail. That they had these rural directing delivery people that they'd drive around to the farmers and put the stuff in the mailbox. So she used to go out and deliver the mail. One day she had a package that was pretty heavy. And she looked over there, and there's a guy over there picking up some apples or something. And she went over to him and she says, "Would you come over and move my thing here?" He said, "Yeah." So he did that, and she left him with a package. And then she wrote to me and says, "What does POW mean?" He had that on his back.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "That means prisoner of war." And what they used to do was let the prisoners out, and they'd work them, picking apples. And he was only a couple of miles from my house.
Wow.
So here I was in Germany, and he was in Pepperell picking apples. I could have been picking the apple.
Wow.
That was something. She said, "What does POW mean?"
Wow.
I said, "Oh, you're a nice old lady."
So they sent him back there to the U.S., even though he was from Germany?
Yeah, well, see, then they had rehabilitation afterwards. The war was over.
Yeah,
So now they had to get him back to his home
yeah,
and me back to my home
yeah,
and get the world back in peace-loving individuals.
yeah.
And it hasn't happened yet. They're working on it. Oh,
What's that?
skull and crossbones, they used to have them on the Jeeps. Not Nazi. But Tosca. That shows you I went to something good, too.
Yeah, pretty high class entertainment there, Joe.
Yeah. There's a concert we went to some third Saturday. Sounds good. Here's money.
Oh man, holy cow.
Hein Reichmark. Here's me having a picnic all by myself. Follies Boucher. There's that camera. See how big it is? It's got a 35 millimeter. Went much better. That guy that, I don't know if this is the time to tell it. No, it's not, I guess. When I was talking to this guy one day about picking the apples in Pepperell,
Mm-hmm.
he says, "You know, someday when I get off," he says, "you bring your camera and I'll bring some pictures and I'll show you where that picture was taken. And I'll give you this picture of how it looked, 15 years ago. And you can have the combination of before and after." So that's in here,
Wow.
which was kind of nice, you know.
What are these? These are like battles?
I don't know what
It
this.
says the bombing of Bazincourt.
Basinco, we stayed there. I don't know. It's just that's the environment we were in.
Wow. So there's been bombings there.
Yeah. There's the tent we lived in when we were at Basincourt. Oh, here I are. Belgium. Belgium. Jeeps. The infernal Jeep. There's our little shanty. Our temporary home, the Buzzard's Nest. People picking over the dump. There's one of the World War I graveyards. And you can see shell marks on the memorial where the Nazis had zeroed in on it. And I thought that was good. The Versailles, where they had World War I signatures for the peace and the treaty and all that.
Yeah.
There's a picture of Versailles today. It shows me against a mirror. Look at that. My God.
Where'd you get that?
I don't know. That's where it came off, I think. Yeah, see that?
So you could just find things like that on the ground, or
Oh no, I swapped it with somebody, or maybe we got a bunch of German soldier POWs and we had them lined up. We had them throw everything into the pockets. Maybe that's where I got it. Just picked it up. Oh, it's VE Day. There's a couple of my buddies. And look at his Glenn, Meadows, Duke, and myself. In Paris on VE Day. It shows VE Day celebration. Wow. They don't look too sober, you know?
yeah,
I think they had a little bit.
yeah. That's right. What's that chateau?
That's where we stayed. They took over in a state or something. And if you were a stranger in Paris, you go to the USO, and they say, go down the third house on the right, and here's a ticket. I thought they were cute. I bought these ones. They're kind of simple, yet they colorful. Hey, look at this. Made a beard yet.
Wow.
And a hat.
Yeah, really.
Oh, I don't know who this is, but I knew her pretty well.
That's pretty good.
Do you think I was drinking that day?
It looks like it.
I think maybe I had a little bit. Here I am in Paris, look at that.
Wow.
There's Paris. There's the other bunch of guys. Oh, that's awful, isn't it?
Before you met Grandma.
Yeah, you are kidding. Okay, here we go. The cathedral. This is the Hotel de Villa after it was bombed. And this must have been, what does that say?
Entrance to the town. Toul.
Tool.
Toul.
Oh,
There's a bird's eye view of the town.
very bad, yeah. My God. I guess maybe that isn't what,
And this is the bird.
that isn't him yet.
Oh, okay.
This is down on the river. This is the gang. This is Glenn from Boston. He's the oldest guy in the whole 150 guys. We used to call him Pop.
How old was he?
He was about, we were all about 18, 19, 20. He was about 30. I think that's the Moselle River down behind the, we were staying at a prison there, a caserne, and the boats used to go by there, the cargo boats,
Whoa.
and
Who's that? It says Pop and me.
Pop and me,
Who's that?
Pop Holden, he was just a friend, friend for years, I guess, 3 or 4 years. And he was the old guy.
Oh, that was the guy. That was the guy who was
He was-
30.
He was going back to California. Yeah. Gosh. Fantastic.
Yeah, better cash that in.
Boy, you gotta.
Be rich.
There's me, there's the dog. And there's. Bunch of pictures that I don't know anything about. This book has become a little worse for wear.
Yeah.
That's a good shot. Oh, this is when I went to England.
Oh, that's when you got your pass?
I guess this one, yeah. See the way it's been doctored up?
Yeah.
I rode over. Oh, gosh. Just a bunch of country scenes. Here's a big one. I wonder what this surprise will be. Oh, the saga of the one Oh, the 517th Signal Depot Company. This is where the Signal Depot Company came in.
Oh, okay.
They came in and went all the way across France. Look at that. Belgium.
Did you work with them?
Yeah, at one time, I guess.
Wow.
Few days. Money, 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 money. Money, money, money. Some of the money's kind of pretty. Look at that. Boy,
Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
look at how bright those colors are.
Colorful. Still to this day.
5 francs. Oh no, 2 francs. 2 amis. 10 francs. There's Glenn. Oh, Glenn and I. We went to Marseille one time. They needed speakers for tanks, and the tank radio was a big radio. It was about so long, and it had beautiful crystals in the top. You didn't have a tank coil in it to set the frequency. You changed the little crystal every time you wanted to move up or down in the band.
Oh.
You had to change the crystal. Well, that was all right, but it was a good reception.
Yeah, I bet.
But the speakers used to blow out.
Oh.
And so we got on teletype and found out that they had speakers in Marseille. And that kid Glenn that had his picture,
Yeah.
he and I went to Marseille.
Wow.
Took us about a week.
To go get it.
We got the speakers. Here is Glenn here. There's me on the way to Marseille.
Wow. It's a pretty good.
In the French Alps. Oh, this is the Alps country.
Oh, yeah.
See, we're off the road there. Oh, and this is down the Mediterranean, down around Marseille. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Yep, nice shoes. Another one of these guys, huh?
You never know what you'll ever see in here.
Ah, here's your furlough in Scotland. I see Dunvegan Castle.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Here's part of Scotland. Here's part of Scotland. Cost $1 anyway. Oh boy. There's Glenn again. Glenn and I, we used to hang out together quite a bit.
Yeah.
Look at him smoking a pipe.
So what was the story with your Scotland furlough? I know you told me a little the other day, but they said you could have time off if you knew someone in Scotland.
Oh, yeah. If you knew somebody over there, you could get a 30-day pass. And it wouldn't count against anything that you got when you got home, which was good, you know. There was no accounting for it. So this is to transport to the UK. Oh, I guess here it is here. Oh, this is to go to Marseille.
Ooh. It's there on the book
Panoramic
itself.
of the
Oops.
square at Portree. Oh,
Okay.
you know, Portree was, Dunvegan was the town.
Okay.
Dunvegan was here,
Yeah.
Portree was here, Kyle Lakash was here,
Okay.
where you come in on the ferry.
Yeah.
There's the ferry where it comes in here.
So what, you got an invite, didn't you, to go up to see the
What?
McLeod Castle? What was that
Yeah.
story? What was that story?
Yeah, I got that in there's the ferry flag. With the battle holes in it.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, I thought you had a piece of it.
Wow.
That's a story.
Yeah, I got an invite. There it is, right here. You want to see what an invite looks like? They said, here, why don't you take this? We don't have any McLeod. We don't see the name that often. So the lady gave me the invite for the McLeod Caled, and I took it along. And then she invited me over to come over here and meet Mrs. McLeod. So I, 10, 12 feet away. And I met her and she said, do you have time? You'll have to come up and see us. So I figured, oh boy, why not,
Wow.
So we went up to see them.
Was that Dame Flora?
Dame Flora, yeah.
Wow.
Dame Flora McLeod of McLeod.
Wow.
So you went up and you were their guest at McLeod Castle? Or at
Yeah.
the Dunvegan?
No, we weren't at, see, this was like November maybe.
Oh.
And the McLeod Castle, they didn't have the heat on.
Oh.
So we stayed, this other guy and I met this guy, he was from Boston. And I met him, he was totally drunk as a skunk. Oh, he was awful. And his grandfather had died, and he was heading for his grandfather. In the little, outside of Skye, there's other islands out by the Hebrides, and he lived on one of the
Oh.
East Hebride Islands, I guess it was. So he stayed the first night there. I walked all the way out to the port, to the shore, it's about 4 miles, I think, and I bought a bunch of lobsters and brought them back into the inn and gave them to the cook, and I said, "Hey, cook them up, and people can eat what they want, Oh, he was thrilled.
Oh.
Beautiful. And they tasted good, too.
Oh.
Yeah. And after we got through eating, I'm sitting there at the table, and Dame Flora says, oh, it's time for the wireless. And I said to myself, wonder what she's cooking up now, So she says, come on in my room. We'll listen to the news down in London. I have a wireless. So we went in, she's got a little radio on her table there.
Oh.
So we heard the news.
Oh, wow.
That was a new thing at that time?
That was probably pretty good. Yeah.
Wow.
And then that fellow that I forget what his name was, he went to his grandfather's funeral, and we exchanged, because he came from Boston, and he was some relation to Dame Flora.
Oh.
So when Marge and I were courting, I remember one day that I had this letter from him that said, Flora will be at our home. We'd like to have you come over for tea. So Marge and I went over to his house. It wasn't far from where Marge lived herself. And We had tea and crumpets or something. And
Also, Dame Flora was over for a visit?
she was, yeah, I would say about 48 maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, a couple of years after the war. Then she died right after that.
wow. What kind of a lady was she? Was she, sounds like she was a friendly,
Just a friendly, nice lady. Yeah. A lot like Marge, just non-assuming, knew when to keep her mouth shut. And she's a nice girl.
And then didn't you get the dog shortly after that?
No, I got the dog when I was in Scotland,
Oh, Scotland. Okay.
when I went to visit my pen pal.
Oh, okay.
But I never visited it.
Yeah.
I never got there. Then I had the dog for about a week, I guess.
Yeah.
And but you had to keep your eye on her all the time, you know.
Yeah.
Too bad. Then when we got to the port, when we left France, there's a big sign, no dogs allowed, according to the commanding officer. So, you know, no dogs. But then when we were out to sea for about a day, the thing came over the loudspeaker and it says, now hear this. There's been a reprieve on the command that there will be no dogs, because we have seen a couple of dogs, and we are going to now allow them to be present among us.
Wow.
And lo and behold, they counted, I forget what, something like 75 dogs.
So you had one too.
Yeah.
How did you hide it?
I didn't get, but one of my friends, Ziegfeld, had a dog. Typical Army, even today, moves with a duffel bag,
Yep.
a great big duffel bag.
Mm-hmm.
He trained this dog, which was a pretty good sized beagle, hunting dog. He trained that dog to get in the duffel bag, get up on his shoulder, and go down through the lines and stuff. And he kept a little food. He'd give him a little food, you know.
Wow.
And he kept Ziggy until he brought him home.
Wow. That's
What
yeah.
about Craig? And Craig.
We'll see if she brings.
There
Craig.
she is.
There you are.
There's Flory. Flory Dory.
Wow.
No, he's just joking. Craig's older.
she have any stories about the Campbells or the
She,
McDonald's?
I remember she being very possessive. She took me down to this patio here and said, now you walk out there like your ancestors used to do of old. And she says, don't forget that the American Navy came in. They came into this bay and they shelled the castle. Can you imagine
Why?
that? They shelled the castle.
Why did they do that?
That was the War of 1812.
Oh.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. So she thought it was awful. You know, it was awful.
I didn't know they did that.
Can we bring a toy today?
There's my dog.
Oh.
There's Christmas there. Yeah, see the Christmas tree? When
Oh yeah.
we took the condenser apart and then
They're not 100%.
different things and made modern day electronics.
Wow.
Look at all the money.
Some more money.
Of course, we'll have to turn that in. It's the Nuremberg Signal Depot.
Oh. Oh.
That's what we were saying, I guess. Oh, look at all the Polish girls. I'm telling you, the Polish girls were the cooks
Yeah.
and the, gosh, look at all the money. I should turn that in someplace.
Yeah, really.
There's the old trucks, all had there's old Bessie.
Yeah.
And here's the cooks. Boy, they look pretty good. Good looking girls.
Could they speak English?
Oh, sooner or later they could. they learn to know quite easily.
Yeah.
There's Glenn up on the mountain.
So this is when you were. What does it say? Redeployment.
Redeployment, yeah. Yeah, this is Garmisch Partenkirchen, which is where the Olympic Games was.
Oh.
And there's Glenn and I. Glenn were on the top. He lost a ski.
Oh no.
I went down and got it. That's just awful. A lot of snow around. Pretty countryside. All right, let's have something good to look at here. Come on.
Wow. Look at that one. It says the MG shield in place of the Nazi symbol at Munich.
Oh, they did right in here.
Yeah.
They used to have an eagle or something. They took the swastika out.
Joe, Claude, do you want anything for dinner while we're heading up?
No, I'm gonna have some soup.
Yeah.
I have some soup. Oh, this is some of the Munich Town Hall.
Oh yeah.
This is before and after. See this?
Oh wow.
That's what the guy gave me.
Wow. And then you went there and took pictures of.
Yeah. And then look at this. Nuremberg. What? Such a mess.
Yeah. Basketball tournament, huh?
Yeah.
Did you play?
No. Here's me right there. Place to sleep. This is final shakedown before we went home. Make sure you didn't have any guns and anything.
Oh wow.
But the people had them anyway, you know. Here's before and after. Look at the difference here. See how they put the stuff here?
Wow.
Oh, here's a good one. Oh, I tried when we went over there with the people from here
Oh yeah.
in the '90s. I tried to get Marge and I in free.
Yeah. Didn't work.
I showed them that I'm a life member.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Really? Yeah, that we tried that too. My mom asked.
And then here we got the train, the engineer, the car, look at that. And the track.
Wow.
That's
Where
a story all in itself.
That's the story I was telling you about.
Where's your recorder?
yeah. Well, what's that? Do we have to go?
I'd have framed that picture. That'd be the
Yeah.
Is the heater in here? Do you have a picture of it?
no. No. Yeah, this is where we got it, along the road there. The heater.
I think we'll have to take a time out and pull Alex away from you, Dad. Unless you want to stay.
All right,
Well,